Hello and welcome to EcoElsa, where I, Elsa, bring you videos to help you take your kids outdoors. On today's video, we'll be going over the 10 things to pack with you on a short day hike with kids. Coming right up. For today's video, please keep in mind that the 10 things to pack with you are just for a short day hike. This is not for a Boundary Waters trip, this isn't for a wilderness trip, this isn't even for a weekend trip. Once again, short day hikes with kids is what this is for. Number one is water. Water is important because we don't want you getting dehydrated on your hike, as well as we don't want you getting a dry mouth if you're trying to teach students. You want to be able to talk. Additionally, one of the symptoms of dehydration is crabbiness, so we don't want you being crabby on your hike. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you're going on a hike that's longer than an hour and you have a bunch of kids with you, it might be a good idea to have them bring with water as well so that they aren't getting dehydrated. But just keep in mind, if there aren't any bathrooms out there, then having your kids all filled up on water might not be the best idea. Number two is a map and compass. These are important because just in case things do go wrong, you'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. So again, for a lost survival type situation, a map and compass will come in handy. As long as your map is well detailed and it shows all the paths, as well as what direction north is, they'll be a good thing to have with you. More likely though, what you're going to need these items for is if all of a sudden your class has gone too long and you need to backtrack or make it a shorter loop, you can look at the paths and see what will make it the shortest loop possible to get back. Or maybe the opposite, you have some extra time and you want to do a fun little trip to a waterfall or something on the map and you want to see how much extra time that will add on. Whatever it may be, these two items will come in handy when outdoors with kids. Number three is a first aid kit. Kind of like the map and compass, I hope you don't need it, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. In your first aid kit, you should have packed Band-Aids, alcohol wipes, hand sanitizer, gauze, and elastic bandage, just in case if things do go wrong. A tip for you, if you're taking students outdoors, is they're going to get scratches, bug bites, whatever, and they're going to always seem to want a Band-Aid or something for it. So a fun little tip for you is get a little jar and put some Vaseline in it. And what you do, kid has a bug bite, put a little Vaseline on it. Kid got a scratch, put a little Vaseline on it. Kid has a bruise, put a little Vaseline on it. You get the idea. And what this does is it saves you Band-Aids and it saves you time, and all of a sudden, magically, their boo-boo has disappeared. Number four is bug spray. Now, bug spray is a very important thing to pack with depending on where you live. Here in Minnesota, where we joke that the mosquitoes are really the state bird and that they can carry people away in swarms, some summers more or less true than not, bug spray is a very important thing for you to pack with you. Additionally, if you want to know a little naturalist secret, have you ever noticed when you're out on hikes with a naturalist or a park ranger or someone who works outdoors that the bugs seem to go after you more than them? This is because we have a little bit of a secret, and I'm, I guess, able to tell you now that you're becoming one of us. One of us, one of us, one of us. Here is the secret. We know for the most part kids are going to be wearing about 25% Deet. So what I do as the instructor with the group is I wear more than 25% Deet. This way the bugs are more attracted to the students than they are to me. It's called bug repellent, not bug killing. So you're just trying to make yourself a less likely target for the bugs, which is a good thing because as the teacher in a group, you have a lot of things on your mind. You're trying to plan the hike, you're doing activities, you're answering questions, you're handing out things, you're trying to collect things. So it's good to have yourself be maybe a little bit less of a target than the students, but now that you know our big secret, you can go ahead and make that decision for yourself as a fellow outdoor educator. Number five is sunscreen. And this is because more or less, depending on where you live again, sunscreen is going to become a very important thing to have. For the most part, we're outdoors when it's really nice out, the sun is shining like it is on me right now, and so we're going to want a little extra protection so that we aren't getting skin cancers and we're not getting prematurely aged skin. So this is why this comes in handy. Just keep in mind though that your body does need about 15 to 30 minutes of sunlight a day to properly absorb vitamin D, depending on your skin tone. So if you're going on a short hike, then you might not need it too much, but if you burn easily, make sure you put it on. You're an adult, you make the best decisions for yourself. And make sure your students, they wear it if they got it. So number 6 is a multi-tool, kind of like this little guy here. A multi-tool can also sometimes be called a pocket knife, and depending on where you are as a teacher, this may or may not be the word you want to use around students or your board. Now, multi-tools come in handy because they have so many little tools on them that they come in handy for whatever situation you're in. Maybe you need to cut some string or some rope. You have a little saw or a little knife on it. Maybe you need to tighten some loose screws on cameras or binoculars or whatnot. You have a little tool to do that. I even have a little pair of scissors on mine, if you can see that. A little pair of scissors. And also a bottle opener. But you know, if you're hiking with children, you might want to make sure you're being a responsible adult. Just saying. Number 7 is rope. Now, this is pretty heavy duty rope. It's the old climbing rope I have in my car for just in case situations. And depending on your hike and the tools and equipment you're bringing with you, this rope might come in handy to lay tarps out or hang tarps above you because it might rain. I don't know what you're up to. But for the most part, when I'm doing any sort of teaching type situation, the kind of rope I have is like some yarn or twine or something, a nice big spool of it. This is because it can come in handy for hanging things, odd situations where you need to tie things back together and you need a utility tool to cut that rope for you. However, if you're teaching outdoors of students, this comes in handy for a lot of different things. Most specifically for, if I don't want students to go a certain way, I just tie a rope between 2 trees. Don't want children to go across a path? Tie a rope between 2 trees. Don't want children to go past you and too close to the lake? Tie a rope between 2 trees. Make it a physical barrier that they can't miss or go around. It comes in handy. Additionally, if you have a group of students that isn't the greatest at circling up or sitting inside a certain area or outside of a certain area, you lay a rope on the ground and you ask the students to sit outside it or inside it. Make it fun. Put it into different weird, funky shapes and have the students try and name it. You do you. But it does come in... That was a big bee. Okay. I know where I'm gonna host my Bee 101 video, that's for sure. Number 8 is a whistle. A whistle can come in handy for a lot of type situations, hopefully not for a survival, looking for a lost student type situation, but also for gathering students together. You blow a certain whistle number, the students have to whistle back at you, or they just have to come and bring it in. Whatever it may be, a whistle comes in handy for gathering your students, but if you want other techniques for how to gather your students together when outdoors, see a previous video, link in the description. Our last 2 items are geared a little bit more towards teachers, but parents, there are plenty of uses for these last 2 items that can also help you on a short day hike with your kids. Number 9 is a whiteboard and dry erase markers. This is because when you're out on a hike outdoors, there's no blackboards, whiteboards, or smartboards, or any other kind of board out floating in the trees for you to use as a teacher. So having a nice little lap, backpack-sized whiteboard with you can come in handy for when you have those wonderful teachable moments. See a previous video below. And you need something to write on, to draw a diagram, to draw a picture, or maybe to spell out a word for your students to look at. Additionally, for other adults out on a hike with kids for fun, you can use it for hangman, tic-tac-toe, keeping track of bird species, plant species, drawing, whatever it may be, to help with the dreaded "I'm bored" when outdoors. And our final item, number 10, is back pocket activities or activity cards. Now these go by a lot of different names. I kind of like Card Hub personally the best, or activity cards. But what they are they're sheets of papers with scavenger hunts on them, or activity cards with things for the students to do when outdoors. These can be really educational for teachers, so it can be math, it could be English type things, it could be colors and shapes for little preschoolers and kindergartners. Whatever it may be, there's a wide variety of them out there with groups like Project Wild, Project Learning Tree, Project Wet, and the Beatles Project. So you can find many, many different kinds of them online. Additionally, I may or may not be coming out with my own pretty soon here, so stay tuned. Activity cards also don't always have to be educational. They can be really fun things for the kids to do while outdoors as well. They could be things exploratory like hugging trees, putting your feet up on a tree, or digging in the dirt. Just something that's going to get the kid exploring and having fun outdoors so you don't have to keep hearing the I'm bored" type thing going on Listen, if you want kids to have fun outdoors, you have to make outdoors fun. Unfortunately, that is all we have time for today. So please, in the description below, check out links to some of my other videos to help you take your kids outdoors. And please comment below and share what you like to pack on a short day hike with kids. I'd love to hear from you and learn from you, so please comment below and share your knowledge. If you liked this video, please click the subscribe button below and make sure to ring that little bell button. That way you can be notified the second my videos go up on YouTube to help you take kids outdoors. You can also follow me on my other social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Pinterest, and an Instagram coming soon. Just search EcoElsa, one word. As always, I hope you all have a fantastic week. You be safe, learn lots, have fun, and get your kids outdoors. Bye!